Hello and welcome to another video. Today I made a family tree for King George IV of England, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll be starting. Are you finished? I thought so. Let's start. So this is King George IV over here. This is his family tree over here. And so let's start with his parents and grandparents. His parents were George III and Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. When George and Charlotte were married, George was 23 and Charlotte was only 17. Don't worry, that was common at the time. It would be illegal today in most US states to be married under 18. Well, I don't live in USA. I'm an American, but I don't live in America. I live in Poland because I'm also Polish. Never mind about that. George's paternal grandparents were Frederick Louis, Prince of Wales, and Princess Augusta of Saxe-Gotha. Frederick did not become king after George II's death because he died before his father, so his George II's grandson George III became king, and George's maternal grandparents were Duke Charles Louis and Duke Charles Louis Frederick of Mecklenburg-Strelitz and Princess Elizabeth Albertine of Saxe-Hildburghausen. Hausen means house, and Hildburg is I guess Hildburg's house in German. George had a lot of siblings. And he was the oldest sibling. So his younger siblings were Frederick, William, Charlotte, Edward, Augusta, Elizabeth, Ernest, Augustus, Adolphus, Mary, Sophia, Octavius, Alfred, and Amelia. There was 15 of them, and two of the siblings became kings. George became king after his father George III died. He was known as George IV. But after he died, his daughter did not become queen because she died. Instead, his brother William, who became king, his other brother Frederick, who did not become king because he died before George. So William became king after George and became William IV. After William died, not his niece from his brother Edward's side, Victoria, became queen at the age of 18. But this is not a family tree about Victoria or William. I made a family tree for Queen Victoria, but I did not make one for William, and I will in the future. But for now, we're doing George IV. As you can see, George has two partners, so both of them were technically his wives. The first one was an invalid marriage with Maria Fitzherbert. By invalid, it means illegal and with no consent from the king. So he was illegally married to Maria. She was actually a few years older than him. But later they separated, and George married Caroline of Brunswick, who was about a lot younger than him. And they had a daughter. Actually, wait, no, they're about the same age. She was just younger than him. They only had a daughter named Princess Charlotte of Wales, who died at childbirth at the age of 21. So she married Prince Leopold of Saxe-Coburg-Saalfeld, who was Edward. See this Edward? See this Edward? He married his sister, unless it was a different Leopold. Oh no, cause he married his sister, and it makes sense since he married his sister, who's a lot younger than him. So like he could be her father, but instead he married her, and so his wife and he were siblings. I think he was older maybe, and there's a series about Queen Victoria called Victoria, and he was in there, and he was like, he wanted Prince of Wales before Christmas. So right after Victoria gave birth to her oldest daughter Victoria, she had to give birth to a son before Christmas, and she gave birth in November of 1841, and she gave birth to Edward, who was actually a big mistake of the whole royal family. But thanks to him, his son George became king, and then thanks to him, his son Edward abdicated, and then thanks to him, his younger brother George became king, and then thanks to him, his daughter became queen for 70 years. So, um, so Charlotte and Leopold only they did not have surviving children, because Charlotte was ill during the childbirth, or if she wasn't ill, she just couldn't stand the pressure of giving birth, and she died with the baby inside. Either it was inside or they took it out and it was dead. But she died when she was only 21, which was very tragic. And she had a really big funeral. And I think George and Caroline were, I think, divorced, and Caroline was both George and Caroline were at the funeral, but they were divorced. And so yeah, that's the whole family tree of King George IV. And you can tell me in the comments whose family tree you'd like to see in the future. Maybe I might do it, but maybe I have other plans. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I only need 21 more subscribers till I hit 50, and I really want to hit 50 subscribers. So thank you for watching, and share my channel with your friends and family if they're interested. Goodbye.